Hello, students. Our next chapter is chapter 2 Polynomials based on NCERT syllabus. So, let's begin with the chapter. First, introduction. We have already studied about algebraic expression in our previous class, right? Now, we will just recall the algebraic identities which we studied earlier. That is given over here x plus y's whole square is equals to x square plus 2xy plus y square and so on. Because we might use these identities in this chapter. So we all know about algebraic expression, but in this chapter we will study about a new term that is called polynomial. Polynomial is a family of algebraic expressions like monomial, binomial, trinomial. Okay, so all these comes together in the family polynomial. We will also study about remainder theorem and factor theorem and their use in the factorization of polynomials. In addition to the above, we shall also study about some more algebraic identities and their use in factorization, and we will evaluate some given expressions. Number 1, algebraic expression. So, by definition, what do you understand by algebraic expression? This is nothing but sum, difference, division, and multiplication of constant terms and some definite variables. For example, fx is equals to x cube minus 6x square plus x plus 9. In this expression, we can see that there is some difference. These addition and subtraction is performed. These operations are performed between constants or some definite variables. Variables are x, okay, and their power is x cube, like x square or x to the power 1, that is x, and constant is 9, and few constants which is multiplied with the variables, those are known as coefficients. See here, in this 6 is known as coefficient of x square and 1 is known as coefficient of x cube, which we have already studied in the previous class. Next is polynomial. So what makes a polynomial a polynomial? Okay, because it can also be related to algebraic expression. It can also be said as a algebraic expression, but the only difference is there are three key points that differs the polynomial with algebraic expression. Number 1, it says that the power of variables should be positive. The power should be positive. See here in this above example, x cube. Now 3 is positive, 2 is positive, this 1 is positive power on the x. So we can say that this is a polynomial. Second condition that needs to be satisfied is number of terms should be definite. There shouldn't be infinite number of terms in the polynomial or expression. Third condition is coefficient of variable in each terms should be real number. Now you can see that 6 over here is a real number, 1 over here is a real number here. So coefficients should also be real numbers. So based on these three conditions, we can say that the above example is a polynomial. Clear? Let's move on to next. Value of polynomial. What do you understand by value? Value means if there is a polynomial fx and in place of x we place a real number a, then the obtained answer is the value of polynomial. For example, fx is equals to 2x minus 3x minus 2. This is a polynomial. So in place of x, if I keep 1, x is equals to 1, the answer we get is minus 3. So this minus 3 is value of polynomial fx. Zeros of polynomial. Similar to value of polynomial, if we keep a real number a in place of x and the answer becomes 0, the answer what we get is 0 instead of minus 3 or any other value, then that is said to be the 0 of the polynomial. For example, let's take this example, px is equals to 2x minus 3x minus 2. If I place x is equals to 2, then after solving my answer is 0. So I can say that px is equals to 0. So then I will say that x is equals to 2. That is 2 is the 0 of polynomial px. Clear? The answer should come 0. Then only we will say that the value what we have placed is the 0 of the polynomial. Next, important points. Now remember that each linear polynomial means one which have power 1. The polynomial which have power 1. See here, x minus 2. So x to the power is how much? 1. So it has power only 1. Degree of polynomial is 1 here. So it is a linear polynomial. So each linear polynomial has one and only one 0. So I have seen students making mistake that they continue searching for the next zeros of this polynomial. It is not possible. Even if you try for hundreds of times, it will be a waste of your time. So instead of wasting time, you should memorize this, that this is a linear polynomial x minus 2, that is power degree is 1. So I will only get 1 0 of this polynomial. Quadratic polynomial is the polynomial which has power 2. So here if I place x square, by mistake it is not given over here, but still, so the equation, the polynomial should have power 2 over here. So once it is solved, we will find out two zeros. Okay, one is x is equals to 4 and one is x is equals to minus 2. After solving, we get as 0. So x square it is, okay, instead of x minus 2x, it is x square minus 2x. So 2's square is 4, that is why 4 is mentioned over here. That is a typo. Now let's move on to cubic polynomial. So cubic, obviously power will be 3. So 3, power is 3 or degree is 3. Then again we will get 3 zeros of the polynomial. So linear polynomial means 1 0, that is power 1. Quadratic means power 2, so 2 zeros. Cubic means power 3, so 3 zeros we will get. Let's move on to next. Now polynomial functions and their definitions. So I have mentioned the terms over here which we studied earlier. So what is a term? A number or a product of a number and variables raised to a power. So it is a number or product of number and variable raised to the power. Power is 2. So all these are what individually known as terms. Coefficient, the numerical factor of each term. See here, numerical factor of each term, only numbers. The blue part is known as coefficients, which we already studied in the previous class. Constant, the term without a variable, that is 3, minus 6, 5, which is placed after, in the whole polynomial, constant is placed at the last. Okay. Then polynomial, a finite sum of terms of the form ax to the power n, where a is a real number and n is a whole number. So this is what? A polynomial. Clear? Yeah, so let's move on to next. Monomial, a polynomial with exactly one term. That polynomial with exactly one term is known as monomial. All these terms, only one terms are there individually, so they are known as monomial. Binomial, 2 terms. Trinomial, 3 terms. So you need to memorize. So we were talking about constant. So constant term is placed always at the last, from left to right. Okay. Now degree of a term. Degree of a term in the sense, the power. Single individually term, it is given 5x square. So 2 is the degree. So 2 is the power or degree. Here it is 4. Here m to the power 1. Nothing is there. That means we assume 1 is there in the power and in the denominator as well as in the multiplication. So the degree of a term with more than one variable is the sum of the exponents on the variables. Now see here, in above, degree of a term with one variable, only one variable is there. That is why we will directly consider 2. But here there are two variables x and y. So the degree will be sum of the power of these two variables, that is 2, that is power of x, and 1, that is power of y. So 2 plus 1, it becomes 3. So degree of polynomial in two variables, it will be the sum of the power of the variables. Okay, degree of a polynomial is the greatest degree of the terms of the polynomial variables. So if we talk about this, so greatest power is 3 in these three different terms, that is trinomial. So greatest power in this is 3. Here it is 4 plus 2. Only in a single term we will consider, not in the whole polynomial. So the maximum, like 4 plus 2 is 6 and this 2 plus 3 is 5. So we will consider the highest degree. Okay, let's move on to next. So some practice problems are given over here based on your previous classes. Identify the degrees of each term and degree of the polynomial. Now see here, in the polynomial given 5x cube minus 4x square plus 5x. So degree of 5x cube, that is 3, and 4x square, that is 2, and 5x, that is 1. So which one is greater? Obviously 3 is greater. Highest is 3. So we will consider the degree of the polynomial 5x cube minus 4x square plus 5x is 3, and so on. Okay. So you can go through the other two examples and try to solve it by yourself. Find out. Answer is already given for your comfort. So next, move on to practice problems of same chapter. Evaluate each polynomial function. We need to find out the value. Again, I have already explained what value of polynomial is. Okay. Now here he has mentioned minus 1, and the polynomial given is this: fx is equals to 3x square minus 10. So what happens if I place minus 1? I get different values like minus 7. Okay. And what happens in this polynomial? If I place 3, I get 67. So these are the value of polynomial. Okay. Now comes remainder theorem. It says that let px be any polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1. It should be greater than or equal to 1. The power should be like that. And let a be any real number. A is any real number. So if px is divided by the linear polynomial x minus a, that px is the polynomial if it is divided by linear polynomial x minus a, then the remainder is pa. Okay, it should be pa. So proof: let px be any polynomial with degree greater than or equal to 1. Suppose that when px is divided by x minus a, the quotient is qx. We need to have a quotient. Okay, so we have assumed that it is qx, and the remainder be rx, remainder r. Okay, so it becomes, now you know that the formula is dividend is equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So dividend is px, the polynomial, quotient is x minus a, divisor is x minus a, and quotient is qx plus remainder is r. That formula is used over here. Now since the degree of x minus a is 1 and the degree of rx is less than the degree of x minus a, the degree of rx is equals to 0. The remainder's degree becomes equals to 0. This means that rx is a constant, say r. So for every value of x, rx is equals to r. Okay, whatever the value of x, rx becomes equals to r. Therefore px, again same formula it is used. In particular, if x is equals to a, so now x minus 8 is given. If I put it equals to 0, x minus a is equals to 0, so it becomes s is equals to a. So x is equals to a. This equation gives us pa is equals to a minus a qa plus r equals to r. After solving this, this proves that the remainder theorem. Okay, remainder theorem basically means what remainder you are getting when you are dividing a polynomial with the degree greater than or equals to 1 with any real number a, and that real number is used with the linear polynomial, that is x minus a. So remainder you get is pa. In this case pa is equals to r. Okay, now comes factor theorem. So if px, fx, whatever gx you want to give the name to the polynomial, it's okay with it. Now if px is a polynomial of degree n greater than 1, degree n greater than 1, and a is any real number, same as your previous theorem. Then ix minus, that is first, x minus a is a factor of px. If this happens, then first it says x minus a is a factor of px. It will be the factor of px if pa is equals to 0. And second, it say pa is equals to 0 if x minus a is a factor of px. These are vice versa, I mean the alternate conditions satisfying each other. This actually follows immediately from the remainder theorem. This is a part of remainder theorem, so it follows the remainder theorem, but we shall not prove it here. It is not required. However, we shall apply it quite a bit in the questions. In the later stage, we will use these theorems to solve the questions or problems. Now, examples for practice. Okay. First is, check whether minus 2 and 2 are zeros of polynomial x plus 2. We need to check what? Minus 2 and 2 are, if minus 2 and 2 are zeros of the polynomial x plus 2. X plus 2, it is a linear polynomial, right? Because the power is 1. Now, if I place 2 in place of x, here and here, if I place 2, what will happen? 2 plus 2, it becomes 4. If I place minus 2 over here in place of x, I get answer as 0. So, I can say that it is proved 0, but it is giving 4. The value it is giving 4. So, I can say that 2 is not the 0 of the polynomial, but minus 2 is the 0 of polynomial x plus 2. Next, dividing. Divide the polynomial 3x to the power 4 minus 4x to the power 3 minus 3x minus 1 by x minus 1. We need to do the division. How it is done? Long division method it is. Focus clearly, okay. In the polynomial x to the power 4 it is given, and I have x to the power 1 over here. So how many more powers should I multiply with this so that I get x to the power 4? Now x to the power 1 into x to the power 3, it becomes x to the power 4, right? So I will place in the quotient x to the power 3. Also coefficient 3 is given, so I will also use 3 with it. So it becomes 3x cube. Now 3x cube multiplied by x, it gives 3x to the power 4, and sign is changed. You always remember that whatever sign it is there, you have to change the sign. So it becomes plus and minus, so it gets cancelled out. Now this minus 1 again will be multiplied with same 3x to the power 3. So it becomes minus 3x to the power 3. Now minus changes to plus, sign changes. So if you solve it, minus x remain because minus is more. Minus 4, here it is plus 3. So minus x remain. Now how much do I need? I need x to the power 3. I have x to the power 1. So x to the power 2 and x to the power 1. It becomes x to the power 3, but it is in minus. You don't forget about the sign. So minus x to the power 3 I get, and sign changes to plus. So these two gets cancelled. Now minus 1 and this minus x to the power 2 becomes x to the power 2. That is in plus. Sign changes. It becomes minus. It will be brought down as it is. Now minus x square I need. Here plus x it is there. So x into x is x square, and minus x is given. So minus x square it is given. Sign changes to plus it becomes, and it gets cancelled out. Okay. Now minus 1 into minus x, it becomes plus x. Sign changes, it becomes minus x. So it becomes minus 4x in the below. Now I need x and minus 4 to be multiplied. So minus 4, how it came? Because here it is minus 4x. I have x here, but I don't have minus 4. So I will put in the quotient minus 4. Minus 4 into x gives you minus 4x. So once sign changes, it gets cancelled out, and minus 1 into minus 4 gives you plus 1. So sign changes, it becomes minus 4 and minus 1. Those two are added, so you get remainder as minus 5. How you are going to prove it with remainder theorem? Because it is, even though it is not asked in the question, but sometimes they ask that prove it using remainder theorem. So here we will use same. So the remainder is minus 5. Now the 0 of the polynomial is x minus 1 is 1. Why? Because x minus 1 equals to 0. If you keep that, minus 1 goes over there and it becomes plus. So x is equals to 1 it becomes. So 1 is the 0. if I put it in the polynomial, this in place of x, wherever x is there, if I put in the polynomial x is equals to 1, what I get is remainder as -5. So by remainder theorem, we proved that the remainders are same. We are getting the same answer. Okay, let's move on to next. It says examine whether x plus 2 is a factor of this and not. So again, the value of, you can put the values, right? So x plus 2 is equals to 0, you put, so it becomes plus 2 goes over there and it becomes -2. So once you place -2 in place of x, after solving you get the answer as 0. So you can say yes, it is a factor of the given polynomial. By factor theorem you can also prove. These are some identities that is given of positive real numbers a and b. So you can go through these and remember these identities because it will be required in further questions and all. Now question says simplify the following expression. I'll go back. Look at this. This identity, this identity, this identity. Anyone can be used in the example over here. This. You see? Any identity can be used if the terms are same. But here terms are different, in elements are different in both the braces, that is brackets. So individually you will multiply the terms and you get the answer as this one. Okay. Now rationalize the denominator. Rationalization is the term used for multiplying the fraction with same values as in the denominator, with numerator and denominator, but the sign will be different. Now see here, in 2 plus root 3 the sign is positive, so 2 and root 3 will be used in numerator and denominator, but sign both will be minus. So if you multiply and get the values like 2 minus 3 multiplied with numerator 1 gives you 2 minus root 3, and 2 minus root 3 and 2 plus root 3, that is a plus b and a minus b, it gives you a square minus b square. So root 3's square is 3 and 2's square is 4. So after solving we get the answer as this. So this is rationalization. Okay, you can solve the exercise 1.5. I have given you the questions, that is important. Also representation of root 9.3 on the number line. Now representation on these numbers and all on the number line I have given in the previous video. You can go through that video and check how it is represented. Okay, I have already mentioned it in the previous video with the question answers only. Okay, rationalization question 5th, you can do it by yourself. I have just explained you how to do it. Now comes source and indices, laws of exponents. Okay, you need to remember all these formulas, all these identities. Okay, based on this you will be able to solve the exercise 1.6. I will show you how it is solved. Example, so simplify 2 to the power 2 by 3 into 2 to the power 1 by 3. Okay, now see here, both the bases are same 2. Okay, if the bases are same then the power will be added. Okay, a to the power m into a to the power n, that becomes a to the power m plus n, right? So once you solve that, 3 by 3 it becomes 2 to the power 1 and you get the answer as 2. So you have to see the value or chances where you can cancel out the power, or after addition it becomes diminished or solved out. So in this you cannot do anything about it. Okay, after solving you get this 2 to 1 to the power 1 by 5. You can keep it as it is if it is not getting cancelled. So all these exercise 1.6 answers you have to solve, and I'm going to check all these questions once the school opens. If not, try practicing, and if you're able to give the answers on the website itself, on the YouTube channel, then it will be good. So you can provide the worksheets written in the MS Word, or else you can make a notebook in which you can solve all this. You have to make notes. Okay, so this is the end of the presentation or the video. If you have any queries you can get back to me. Thanks for watching.